Slasher Flesh and Blood is Shudder's new original series. Since I just finished it, I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So Slasher Flesh and Blood is about a highly dysfunctional yet wealthy family who find themselves fighting over who will be the one to inherit the family fortune. But inheriting the fortune won't come easy because they will find themselves competing in a series of games of life and possible death, all while trying to dodge a mass murderer on the loose. Now guys, I'm going to come right out and say I am not a professional movie critic, so I am giving you my perspective from the average movie or TV show watcher. Maybe that's a little more relatable, maybe it's not. But that being said, there's not going to be a lot of that fancy lingo here, just straight to the point. Now I have to be honest, I don't feel like this series felt very original. I actually felt like it was a more bloody and gory version of Knives Out. But with that being said, I like Knives Out. That was a good movie. So this wasn't a bad series, it was actually pretty good. One of the things I liked about the series was the character development. There was very little told about each character in the beginning, and then you find out a little more and a little more. So you weren't like overwhelmed with information and then get bored as the series goes. You find out the little bits here and there, and then you find out that each and every family member has their own dirty little secret that comes to light later in the series. Now there were a handful of different plot twists that kind of changed things up. You had an idea of what you thought was going over in one direction, then they do the whole plot twist thing, throw you a curveball and go in another direction, and they did this a couple of different times, which is good because it keeps your interest more. But there are also a lot of areas where they're quite predictable. Well, don't go in that room or do this because this is going to happen. Don't look through that peephole, this is going to happen. You know, there's a whole bunch of things that you see coming that kind of balances out the things you don't. Now there's a lot of highs and lows to the series. There'll be times where you're on the edge of your seat and you're really into it and captivated, and other times where you'll start getting a little more relaxed and you'll sink in your seat and you're just kind of like, you're there for the ride, but then you'll get grabbed again and pulled back in. So your attention span goes through this like roller coaster effect of up and down. Now I will say that all of the cast did a really good job delivering a very convincing performance. Each family member was very different than the next. No two were the same, even though they're all related. They're all very, very different characters, which made for an even more dysfunctional family. Overall, I feel like the series was good, not great, but it was still good. And I feel like I got to a point where I was wanting to finish it more out of curiosity rather than being captivated by the story and what was going on. You get captivated for a while, and then it's kind of like, it starts to get a little repetitious, and then now I'm like, all right, I started it, I'm gonna finish it, I'm curious where this is going. If you like the fighting, dysfunctional family feuding over things, you're definitely gonna like this. Also, if you like a lot of blood and gore in that fighting, you're definitely gonna like this because there's plenty of it. But then again, blood and guts are kind of easy to come by these days, so it's not going to be the thing that keeps me watching. It needed a little bit something more to it. Again, I feel like there was a point of repetition with the family members and the murders and things like that. But I say that and digress at the same time because there is a lot of plot twists and there is a lot of different things going on. I know that sounds really confusing, but it's different and the same all at the, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. Now this is the first full series I've ever watched on the Shudder platform, and again, it was okay, it was pretty good. But if you've happened to already seen this series, I want your comments down below what you thought of it. Does anything I say make sense? Have you seen what I'm kind of trying to explain here? I'd love to know what your thoughts are on it. Are you planning on watching it? Have you watched it? Let's talk about it down in the comments. Do me a favor if you made it this far in the video. I greatly appreciate it if you would smack that like button for me. It does me a huge service in the YouTube algorithm. And if you want to keep up on other movie news, reviews, and stuff like that, consider hitting that subscribe button and bell notification so you can keep up on all the new uploads. I'm Kevin, and I'll catch you at the concession stands.